Hello there, and welcome to a new game review. Today we'll start with a game against the bot. Honestly, today I didn't match my quota of solving puzzles either, so I consider playing a game with the AI and see basically how it goes. It was interesting in itself. He started king size, then he went over here. I think it's called Queen's Gambit, maybe. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't yet got around looking at the naming of openings. I protect the pawn because I realized that he's going to probably fake an attempt on this pawn, or he can actually force takeover, which he actually does. And if I wanted to defend this, then he would take a pawn for free. That's why I protected it. Then I threaten the queen. He decides to go back. That's very well because it helps me in developing, because obviously he still targets this one. He moves here finally to defend it as I could probably take it, but there is yet no protection from the queen. So there was, I think he just develops. I move my horse here so I can open a castle on the right side. He goes to force my horse away, so I bring in reinforcement. He takes, I take. He decides to move his horse here. Then I realize I can move my horse here and threaten the queen. He decides to check me, which is kind of weird because he still has the queen hanging. So I think this is a mistake on his part. Because I can always just threaten the bishop, and then he cannot take the bishop. I am my bishop to change it, exchange it, because then he's going to lose the queen. He needs to save his queen or lose the bishop. I'm not sure if there's anything that he could have done here that would have saved him. Uh, so he decides to save the queen. I decide to take the bishop with the pawn out with the horse because I didn't want to exchange this one. I think it has a strong position over here, so I wanted him to stay there. Then I continue to develop my pieces. He gets here. I feel a little bit threatened at first, but then I realize that the only target, the only thing that he can hit is the bishop, and that's only if I move my queen out. So I decide to move it behind so that I can freely move my queen wherever I want to, and move the bishop to basically a defensive position, protective space. He threatens my horse basically here, and so I decide to move back. From here, I can mount other kind of pressure. He decides to move on the right side. Then I consider challenging this horse here because if I take and he loses, then he moves his pawn, and I can uh, mount a to mount more pressure on the middle space. He decides to move this pawn here. I'm not sure exactly why. Maybe to allow his king to move here in case I somehow get something dangerous in this side. But that's kind of a lot of thinking. I'm not even considering because I consider moving this one in a better position. Then he moves his queen here. I see this as an opportunity to threaten it. Then he goes back. I can see myself going on this side. Surely I didn't see not losing this pawn over here and moving here because he used his queen. So okay, that's fortunate in itself. But then I see this angle of going for his rook because he doesn't have many options. Well, except the horse. I can clearly see now that the horse can take it. If he didn't do this move, which probably prevents me from getting here, I think. If he didn't do this move, I would have most probably moved here, forgetting completely the horse comes here, and would have prevented me it would have prevented me to feel yeah, what's called uh, to feel ready maybe for another game after this one. So I decided to take it. I'm still in advantage, so I don't mind trading pieces. He doesn't take this one because he sees that if he takes it, I'm gonna freely check uh, the king. I keep going because it's free pawn. He takes and frees his rook. That's very good. And then I castle myself because I kind of want to move my pieces. I want to bring my rook. I don't see any more options immediately, so I decide to do this. He decides to move his horse, so I decide to take this one because if I can take this, Then I can move my horse here, attempt a check, and then that kind of gets me a lot of ways to be a menace. In this side, it's very open, so I just need to get in there. Now, with this horse, I was kind of considering what he can do, and there's not much that he can do except go for this pawn that's already protected by the horse. So I decided to take the pawn. He decides to move here instead of taking mine because he realized that if he takes this one, I can come here and check him, which is good. I mean, it's an AIS probably that's good on him, but I'm already plus 5 points, so well, not that good. So I decided to take this one as it's protected. He can come with a horse here, which he does very well because I didn't like really plan for him going with a horse there, but it opens me to have like this kind of move. Could have done this before as well, before taking it. Well, not exactly, because I need this one gone. So yeah, that allows me to do that. Then I can come here and attack this horse 2 times. He decides to move it in order to, well, not be in danger anymore. Here I considered exchanging this, but not right now. I'm still plus 5, so I don't mind exchanging it. Um, but I wanted a more favorable position. So like from plus 5, I want to go more. So like my idea was this one is protected by anyone? No. Okay. Then I need to find a position where I can take it for free. And I did. He decides to cheekily take um, my pawn, which is good on him. I still decide to check the king. Um, because yeah, obviously I can move the rook here and protect that bishop, but that's not really my priority right now. And right now I could move this one and pin the queen. I considered it, but well, I wanted that rook more. But yeah, I think pinning the queen here would be more important because I would take it for a rook. But yeah, and I eventually trade the queen. I think it was far better if I did this one. Uh, and then probably the best you can do is this one, or like, I mean, whatever it is, I still get to check. Um, so yeah. Okay, he takes me, I take it back, I'm still plus 7 in advance. There is, he pushes this on, so I get another one, it's plus 8, again the advantage is insane. Here I consider that I could come here with the bishop if I check him, but yeah, there's not yet a plan for mate yet. So he goes there. Now I want this pawn. He protects the pawn. I decide to move here and attack this other pawn so I can turn my pawn into a queen. He moves here to target this one. That's all right with me because I can trade pawns. He decides to move here because probably he wants to stop my pawn. I decide to move forward. He takes. I go here. He wants to check me. There's nothing really here that he can do because I can defend with this pawn here. Then he attempts to block me. I challenge him. He refuses to give. So I turn into a queen. He can take a horse. That's very fine because now I win the game. He didn't want to trade rooks because he knew he's going to lose probably the end game. Boy, he's already lost. So I'm not sure exactly why he didn't want to trade. Personally, I would have, but probably calculated this one gives him a little bit tiny more chances to win, I think. And now it comes a little dance with him until he's checkmated. And this one gave me quite the confidence that I am ready to play. It's after all a bot that's 1/300 um, or 130,000. 130, 100. Yeah, 1,300 rating. So I consider like if I can beat this one, then I can beat a player that's under that rating, right? And also, like I consider maybe I'm gonna replay this one. And while I wanted to replay, I accidentally pressed game review, and I lost. Yeah, basically, it reviewed my game, and I lost the ability to review another game. And like I was saying, I was considering playing another game with a bot, but then I said, if I beat him this decisively, Maybe I should play with an actual player. That's gonna be more challenging, or upgrade the score of the AI. But then, what will be the pleasure in beating an AI? So I went to play against a player, and this one was actually really a good ride. So like, follow along with me. I start king side. I'm not sure which opening is this one. I decide to build my defense. He proceeds with it. I decide to block an advance from his side. I move in so I can castle on the right side. He decides to push this pawn. Here I wasn't. Yeah, I knew that if I'm going to take it, he can take it back. Sure, I can chase it and then force him to move his queen, but then that's going to help him develop. So I consider pushing forward. There is no risk for me in doing it, and I also captured this side. He moves his horse here, which was interesting, I guess, because he can't come here, and here would be useless for him. I decided to push up another pawn here because I wanted to basically solidify my area here. And yeah, if he takes, I take. He wants to take with a horse, I can protect it. He decides to move his horse here, and considering what he can do, I don't really feel threatened, but at the same time, I wanted him gone from there. I don't know what he's developing, but he's in a vulnerable position, and I can develop also my right side. So I decided to move this one. Maybe not the best choice, but it was the one I've seen. Also, the neat part is that I cannot review today this game, so I'll have to observe it by myself when this is over. Um, 1 second. It was already full screen, my bad. Um, okay, so yeah, he moves here. Now he threatens this pawn, and I decide to ruin his pawn position here because I could have moved my pawn and protect this one, but I think this one double pawn helps me better. Now he cannot castle on the right side. Um, and it's a good exchange. And then I continue with plan here. He decides to push here, so that was indeed interesting. Now I cannot push here with the pawn to double attack this side. If I take this one, he takes me with the queen, and I lose the momentum. If I take this one, then he can take this one again. It's kind of a good choice, I guess. For his side, I decide to pin his horse here so that like if we take he has one less of a piece to protect in this area. So he moves his pawn, and I decide, okay, if I take the horse, the only way he can protect himself is to take me with the pawn and stacking another double pawn here, which I actually do, or like move this, and if he moved his bishop, then I'll take it, obviously. He takes, and now it's we're even if we are in draw, I see that he has double stacked pawns, and I feel confident that we're in a good position. I would actually take this if it wasn't protected by this pawn, probably by the bishop. I decide to move my queen here, so then I can move my horse and castle on the left. But then he decides to take me, so I decide to take him with the, well, yeah. I took with the queen. Honestly, looking behind, I thought it is a good choice because I can move and attack this rook. But maybe now that I'm looking at it, I think it would have been better to take with the horse here because the next one is going to take a shot at the queen, and I actually take more pawns for free. He decides to move his rook, so I decide to check him because the way I consider it is that, like, at the end of this, I'm gonna win material. Um, and he moves his king here, right? So I can move here with the queen. Well, again, I didn't move. I wanted to move, check with this one. He moves again. Then I can come here with the queen. So basically, I'm threatening to take the rook or the pawn at worst because he has to move, right? Well, I didn't consider this move right here. Maybe I should have, well, actually, if I'd done this, we could have still done this. And at the end of the day, I still win this pawn. So, yeah, I didn't consider he can just move his bishop here. And it took him 5 seconds to find it. and I didn't see it. Okay, fine, and then I can just get away with the pawn. And then another one if he doesn't move here, but he actually does. So I decided to move the queen here and keep the pressure. I honestly didn't know how to develop this more because now this pawn is protected by the king. So yeah. Then another move I thought about is that I can move my horse here and pin these two pieces, but he can always just come with a rook here and just do the exchange, I guess. Well, I mean, then I can move the horse here, and then he can take me with the bishop. So yeah, and then he moves his queen there. I decide to trade. He takes this one, then I can pin his pieces. He decides to protect it, so I take it. Maybe not the best ending of the pressure that I mounted on this side. Um, but I ended up with +1 pawn, which I considered in the end game. It's gonna give me an advantage. I take another pawn here, which is good. Here he moved this one pawn, and then I thought about castling, and I forgot to check the fact that this pawn is unprotected. So I moved the horse, I lost the pawn. I was like, damn, I'm not two pawns ahead. So then I realized that this one blocks me from castling because that's what I would have done. Honestly, I should have protected the pawn here. Now he's in this area here, so um, there's not really a good way for me to attack it. Um, I cannot come with the rook here. I cannot come with the rook here. The horse would be unprotected here. So I decide to move this one. If he takes with the pawn, I can take it back. And then I was thinking that I'm going to take this one, but I was short in my sight and didn't see that this rook is protecting the pawn. He doesn't take it for now. I decide to take this pawn because if he wanted to take this one, that's great because then I can fork the king and the rook. But he was ready for it and instantly took it. That's fine. I protected my pawn. I said that if I'm losing another one, then I just give up all the advantage that I had. Yeah, then he moves his pawn here. I decide to move this pawn here because I thought that if he wants to take me with the bishop, then I can take you with the horse. But I didn't consider he can come here with the pawn. And yeah, if I take this one, then he can come with the rook. Yeah, I can take this one. Well, he can take with the pawn. Anyway, there were all valid choices to be fair. He decides to come here with the rook. Probably wanted to come either. 1 second, either here. So either of these two spaces. Here, probably not, because then I would win. So this one would probably be the most, the best attacking vector. So I decided to castle because if he comes here, then I can come with the rook here. Maybe now that I'm looking back, maybe I should have moved my king here and then my rook here. For more protection because he has one more rook. And now when it's like this, I have 1, 2, and he has 1, 2, 3, 4 if he moves here. So I decided to go back. And why did I do this? Because I imagine he's going to want to be a little bit greedy. Take this pawn with the bishop, threaten my rook, and force my rook to either move somewhere, like losing, yeah, so like moving it away in order to save it, and it would pin this other rook of mine. So this move is too juicy for him to miss, and normally it would be a blunder because he comes with the bishop, obviously can't save. Well, the horse is here. I lose the horse. And he wins a pawn, it's equal, not a big deal, right? Well, I can have a shot at this pawn and even this one if he doesn't defend it. So he eventually does it because he sees no reason to not to do it. And at the end of the exchange, I'm still a +1 ahead. Here, he decides to check me, which is good for him. I move to threaten this rook. He comes here to threaten my other rook that's protecting the pawn, and that's fine for me because I'm going to take this pawn. He offers here an exchange, which honestly, probably I should have, in hindsight, I think I should have given it. I could have taken it, take, check, like this. This one's taking, then he has to move the king, then I also move it. But anyway, the thing is, now we're in the end game, and I know I'm very weak at end games because I don't have a lot of experience with them. I don't really reach this stage. So this was a good exercise, regardless of how it ended. Here I decided to check him and not exchange and win another pawn, which I do. Then he decides to check me, and he wins another pawn as well. So basically, he mirrored me. I decided to check him again. Honestly, I would have liked if my king was, well, somewhere here so I can do this one, but I cannot. So now I decide to exchange it. I'm like, okay, fine. Yeah, this is becoming dangerous. I decided to check him here again because I was trying to look for an opportunity to grab his last pawn. But in doing this, I allowed him to come closer to my pawn, and his pawn is way more advanced than mine. And now I realize that I'm in a very big disadvantage. Like, I think maybe here um, I should have moved my king. I would have moved here. Hmm. Let me think about it. So, like, I'm in this position. Yeah, let's think from here. I wanted to see if I traded before. Um, I'm protecting this one. He's protecting his. I can do this. He's going to do this. This. He takes. I still go ahead. Yeah, he doesn't have time for it. Yeah, probably I should have just gunned for it. Unless he does this. Hmm. Bam. Mm-hmm. Maybe like this, then. Yeah. Eventually, I would just to show you. Eventually, we could reach this stage, but I didn't. I wasn't really. I didn't like that. I didn't think I can change it into something good. So yeah. So basically, here I'm trying to basically do that. Basically, trying to keep him away from that. And now I have an option to change it. Basically, here I could change it, and he has a queen, and I can do this. And then there is. I wasn't sure that I can do uh, anything worthwhile. Uh, mm, I think maybe he can just come around here and hide behind my king. Yeah. He would be able to come here, hide behind my king. And then like it wouldn't even be hard. He just needs to check me. Okay, and I can come here. I mean, I can check him for sure, but yeah. So ain't much I can do. Yeah. So I didn't like that idea, and I decide to take his pawn. And now he's only with the rook, and then I just cross my fingers that he doesn't know how to checkmate me. But, well, it was slow, but it was definitely a descent into the checkmate. I like to review this with the AI tomorrow and see what would have been the angles I could have played. For now I'm gonna do it myself and see what I can get out of it. Uh, that would be definitely one of the choices. But then here, where would he want to go? Probably he want to go here, so I can't check him anymore. And I'll probably want to bring my king. Just make sure not to get the mistake of getting over it. I mean, even if I do, yeah, even if I do, what it's going to do, it's my advantage. He loses, I think. He needs to go back, pushing here. I don't think that's the best choice, I guess. Yeah, and now if he wants to take, then he has to chase me, and he won't reach me. Hmm. He can definitely isolate me a little bit. So, actually no. Yeah, yeah, and I would have moved here. Nothing he can do. Ooh, okay. But that's only if he wanted to trade. Yeah, so I think I should have traded here maybe. Force him to go somewhere here. Mm. And probably move here so I can have that one protected from his rook shenanigans. Probably he can do this one, and then he has to choose if he wants to go for it or not. I guess he can come here, really. I can do this one, and there's no reason for him to check me. No, that's also a mistake. Okay. Oh yeah, this is actually a big mistake here. If I move here, it's kind of, yeah, it's a mistake. I suppose I can move here, and with this one, yeah, he takes this one. No, protect it right. Maybe we can move here to protect that one. Hmm. If I check him, I lose. I have to go here, I guess, with this one here, and you can check me and I lose again, so no. Hmm. Yeah, this one doesn't work either. I guess I can do this one, I guess. Still a bad choice. It's a bad choice because then I can come here. I go here, he goes advances, I advance. He can check me, can go here, can check me again. Nah, not like this. Yeah, I would go here. And he has to come back here. Hmm. Yeah, kinda difficult. If I don't trade the rooks early, it's hard to maintain the advantage, I suppose. And it's also very complicated to keep track of everything. Hmm. Well, this is uh, this is the games I play today. These are the games I play today. A little bit of English correction. All right. See you on the next one. I'll have a quiet review tomorrow on this game because I really want to know how I could have played better. Maybe somewhere in the beginning. Let me see if I can sneak here. Nope, it doesn't allow me to sneak in a review. Okay, it is what it is. Money, money, money. Okay. So yeah, and I think tomorrow I will reserve it for what I should have done today, which was well, actually not should have, because I'm not really disappointed of this game. Sure, I feel sad that I lost it. I felt like I had the advantage at some point, but I didn't know how to exploit it, which in itself is um, aggravating might be a strong word, but somewhere, some like dilute it and you have half of what I feel about it. Yet at the same time, I feel great that I could reach the end game like this, and I was pretty close to tying. I didn't manage to do it, which is the sad part. Again, but yeah, I feel like this loss in itself is a win. It's hard to explain exactly. I might sound a little bit delusional, but it's basically what I'm feeling. And yep, sometimes you can't reason feelings. And on the offset chance that that I need to reason it, I think it's a good thing regardless. So yeah, tomorrow I'm going to review another game and hold the review somebody else's game and hold the game review that I had for today. And if I find something very interesting, maybe I'll put it in the video. If not, I'll keep it for myself. Maybe people that have watched this game along with me maybe knew exactly what was wrong and what I could have done better and at which point, but I do not, which is the key of reviewing your games and learning from them. So, see you on the next one. Cheers.